You put out a feeder. You fill it every morning. You watch cardinals and chickadees and finches come and go, and you think you're feeding the birds in your yard. You're not. Or, more precisely, you're feeding them so little that if your feeder disappeared tomorrow, they wouldn't notice. The birds in your yard, the ones you think depend on you, are getting the vast majority of their food from sources you never see, in ways you've probably never thought about. And the system that actually feeds them, the system that feeds billions of birds every single day across North America, has been running for millions of years without a single human involved. Welcome to Bird Whisper. Subscribe before you leave, because what you're about to learn will completely change how you think about the feeder in your yard and what birds actually need to survive. Today, we're going into how wild birds actually get fed, where the food comes from, and why your feeder, as much as you love it, is almost irrelevant to their survival. Stay until the end, because the last thing we cover is the harsh reality of what happens to birds that can't find enough food, and it's a side of bird feeding that nobody talks about. Let's start with a number that puts everything in perspective. North America is home to roughly 7.5 billion land birds, according to a 2019 study published in the journal Science. 7.5 billion. Every single one of those birds needs to eat every single day. Small songbirds, the chickadees, the warblers, the finches, need to consume between 50 and 100% of their body weight in food daily just to maintain their metabolism. A black-capped chickadee weighs 11 grams. It needs to eat roughly 10 grams of food per day. That's seeds, insects, larvae, fat, whatever it can find. In winter, when temperatures drop and the bird needs to build fat reserves to survive overnight, that number goes up. The bird may need to gain 10% of its body weight in fat every single day just to make it through the night. If it doesn't, it dies. So the question is not whether birds are being fed, the question is how. And the answer, for the overwhelming majority of wild birds, has nothing to do with humans. The primary food source for most North American birds is insects, not seeds, not suet. Not the sunflower seeds in your feeder, insects. A study published in the journal Ornithology estimated that during breeding season, roughly 96% of terrestrial bird species in North America feed insects to their young. Even seed-eating birds, cardinals, sparrows, finches switch to an insect-based diet when they're raising chicks, because insects provide the protein and fat that growing birds need, and seeds do not. The volume of insects consumed by birds is staggering. Research from the journal Science estimated that birds worldwide consume between 400 and 500 million tons of insects annually. In North America alone, birds in forests are estimated to consume enough insects to prevent massive outbreaks of forest pests that would otherwise devastate tree populations. Birds are not just eating insects. They are controlling insect populations at a scale that shapes entire ecosystems. Where are these insects? They're everywhere you're not looking. They're in the leaf litter on the ground. They're under bark. They're in decaying wood. They're on the undersides of leaves. They're in the soil. They're emerging from ponds and streams. A single oak tree can support over 500 species of caterpillars, and those caterpillars are food for warblers, vireos, tanagers, and dozens of other bird species. The insects are there whether you see them or not, and the birds are finding them. A warbler moving through the canopy of a tree is not randomly hopping from branch to branch. It is systematically searching every leaf, every twig, every crevice for insects and larvae. That bird may find and consume hundreds of individual insects in a single day, none of which came from a human. But insects are seasonal. In winter, insect availability drops dramatically in northern climates. So what do birds eat when insects are gone? Seeds, but not the seeds in your feeder. The seeds that are already in the environment. Native plants produce seeds specifically timed to be available when birds need them. Sunflowers, coneflowers, asters, goldenrod, grasses, all of these produce seed heads in late summer and fall that persist through winter. A single mature sunflower head can contain over 1,000 seeds. A field of native grasses can produce millions of seeds per acre. Those seeds sit on the plants, on the ground, in the leaf litter, available to birds all winter. Research from the Xerces Society on Native Plant Seed Production shows that a diverse native plant community can support overwintering bird populations without any supplemental feeding. The birds find the seeds, they crack them, they cache them in some cases, hiding them in bark crevices or under leaves to retrieve later. Chickadees are famous for this. A single chickadee can cache thousands of seeds in a season and remember the locations of most of them. That's not your feeder. That's wild food. Then there are berries. Native shrubs and trees produce berries timed to bird migration and overwintering needs. Dogwoods, viburnums, hollies, junipers, sumacs, all produce berries that are high in fat and available in fall and winter. Cedar waxwings, robins, thrushes, and many other species depend on these berries for a significant portion of their winter diet. A single cedar waxwing can eat hundreds of berries in a day. A flock of waxwings can strip a berry-laden tree in hours. Those berries are not there by accident. Many native plants have evolved to produce berries specifically to be eaten by birds. The birds eat the berries, digest the pulp, and excrete the seeds elsewhere, dispersing the plant. It's a mutualistic relationship that has been running for millions of years. The birds get food. The plants get seed dispersal. No human required. So where does your feeder fit into this? Research on the contribution of bird feeders to wild bird diets is limited, but the studies that exist suggest that feeders provide a relatively small percentage of the total food intake for most wild birds. A study from the British Trust for Ornithology, one of the most comprehensive studies on feeder use, found that garden feeders provided supplemental food, but were not the primary food source for most species. Birds visited feeders opportunistically, but they spent the majority of their foraging time searching for natural food sources. The exception was during extreme weather events, heavy snow, ice storms, prolonged cold, when natural food became temporarily inaccessible. During those periods, feeders became significantly more important, and bird survival rates in areas with feeders were measurably higher than in areas without them. But those are the exceptions, not the rule. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of the birds that visit your feeder would survive without it. They visit your feeder because it's an easy, concentrated food source that reduces the energy cost of foraging. But if your feeder disappeared, they would return to the natural foraging behavior they're already engaging in for the majority of their day. Your feeder is a convenience. It is not a necessity. For most birds, feeders contribute less than 25% of their total daily food intake, and for many species, it's less than 10%. The rest comes from insects, seeds, berries, and other natural sources they find in the environment. You think you're sustaining the birds in your yard. You're supplementing them. Now let's talk about the birds that actually do depend on feeders. They exist, but they're not the species most people think. Research on feeder dependency shows that non-native and invasive species, house sparrows, European starlings, and, in some regions, non-native parakeets, use feeders more heavily and more consistently than native species. House sparrows, in particular, have adapted to human-provided food sources to the point where some populations in urban areas rely on feeders and human food waste for the majority of their diet. Native species, cardinals, chickadees, finches, use feeders but retain strong natural foraging behavior. They don't lose the ability to find food in the wild. The non-native species, in some cases, have. This creates an unintended consequence. By providing feeders, you may be disproportionately supporting non-native species that outcompete native species for resources. This is not an argument against feeding birds. This is a reminder that feeding birds has ecological effects, and not all of those effects benefit the species you're trying to help. But here's the bigger question. If birds don't need feeders to survive, why are bird populations declining? Because the problem isn't a lack of feeders. The problem is a lack of natural food, habitat loss, pesticide use, and the replacement of native plants with non-native ornamental plants have eliminated the insects, seeds, and berries that wild birds evolved to eat. A yard full of non-native turf grass, ornamental shrubs that don't produce berries, and trees that don't support caterpillars is a food desert for birds, even if it looks green and well-maintained. The birds that visit that yard are visiting because there's a feeder, but they're not staying because there's nothing else for them to eat. Research from Dr. Doug Tallamy at the University of Delaware has shown that native oak trees support over 500 species of caterpillars, while non-native ornamental trees like Bradford pears support fewer than 5. If you replace native oaks with ornamental trees, you've eliminated 99% of the caterpillar food base that warblers, chickadees, and other insectivorous birds depend on. Your feeder doesn't fix that. It can't. Because the birds don't just need seeds, they need insects. And insects need native plants. This is why the most effective thing you can do to actually feed the birds in your yard is not to buy more birdseed. It's to plant native plants, native trees, native shrubs, native perennials, plants that produce seeds, berries, and nectar, and most importantly, plants that support insects. A yard with native plants produces food for birds all year. It doesn't require you to fill a feeder every day. It doesn't run out. It doesn't freeze in winter. It's a self-sustaining food system that supports birds the way they've been supported for millions of years. And the science backs this up. Studies comparing bird diversity and abundance in yards with native plants versus yards with feeders alone consistently show that native plants support more species, higher populations, and better breeding success than feeders. Feeders attract birds. Native plants sustain them. Now let's address the part of this story that's hardest to hear. Not all birds find enough food. Even in a healthy ecosystem with abundant natural food, some birds starve. Mortality rates for small songbirds are extraordinarily high. Studies estimate that roughly 50% of songbirds die in their first year of life, and starvation is one of the leading causes. A bird that doesn't find enough food on a cold winter day doesn't survive the night. A bird that can't find enough insects during breeding season can't feed its chicks, and the chicks starve in the nest. This is not cruelty. This is ecology. Bird populations produce more offspring than the environment can support, and natural selection removes the individuals that can't find food, can't avoid predators, or can't survive harsh conditions. The birds you see at your feeder are the survivors. For every bird at your feeder, there are birds that didn't make it, birds that didn't find enough food, didn't find it fast enough, or didn't have the fat reserves to survive the last cold snap. Your feeder doesn't stop this. It might help a few individuals on the margin, the birds that were close to having enough energy but needed just a little more to make it through. But it doesn't change the overall population dynamics. Bird populations are limited by habitat, by food availability, by predation, and by weather. Feeders operate at the individual level. They help specific birds on specific days. But they don't change the carrying capacity of the environment, which is determined by the availability of natural food, nesting sites, and cover. If you want to increase the number of birds your yard can support, you need to increase the natural food base, which means planting native plants. Feeders alone don't do that. So here's what you should take from this. The birds in your yard are not depending on you the way you think they are. They're depending on the insects in your trees, the seeds in your native plants, the berries on your shrubs, and the natural food sources that have sustained them for millennia. Your feeder is a supplement. It's a bonus. It's appreciated, especially during extreme weather. But it's not what's keeping them alive. The system that feeds billions of birds every day is the natural system. The insects, the seeds, the berries, the food web that connects plants to insects to birds. That system doesn't need human intervention to function. It needs human restraint. It needs us to stop replacing native ecosystems with sterile ornamental landscapes. It needs us to stop using pesticides that eliminate the insects birds need. And it needs us to understand that feeding birds isn't just about putting out seed. It's about creating and protecting the habitat that produces the food birds actually need. Tell me in the comments, do you have native plants in your yard? Have you noticed more birds since planting them? I want to hear about it. I read everyone. I'll see you in the next one.